Hello YouTube, Easy Overdose here. Today we're going to talk about creating and managing a large social guild. I'm going to give you some tips that I've acquired over the past couple months of being a guild master, and hopefully some of them can save you a huge headache down the road if you ever decide to be a guild master of your own. So, first thing that needs to be done when you make a new guild is create ranks. Okay, for the ranks, now your bottom rank is going to be what people join in on. You need to make that rank not be able to edit public note. You obviously don't want them to be able to remove or demote people. I guess I can't demote anybody if they're the bottom rank, but you do not let them edit notes. You do not let them remove stuff. The reason why you do not let them edit public notes is if they can edit their public note, they can edit everybody's public note, and you're going to get somebody eventually that is just going to troll you and just destroy 1,000 people's public notes. And this is like really shitty on Blizzard's part because there should be another box here that says, like, you notice there's 4 on this left side, there's 3 on the right side, there's room for it, and it should say edit own public note or edit all public notes. Okay, so I would love for people to be able to edit their own public note and to put funny stuff in there, their professions, their item level, whatever. I don't care. I just I would like to give my guildies the freedom to, edit their own public note, but I can't trust, 999 random people that they're not going to, just troll everybody's public notes and create this huge mess of like having to go through and wipe 900 people's, public notes. It's just retarded. So there's no log to check to see who did it. If somebody did it, you can't see who did it. You'd have to put a ticket in, and then due to like privacy policy, they can't tell you. The GM's not gonna be able to tell you who did it. They'll punish them if they think punishment is needed. Who cares? It's irrelevant. It's been done. It cannot reverse the fact that it's been done and that it left you with a huge headache. So do not allow edit public note. Another thing to go along with the new rank is no withdrawal permissions. The reason why you do not let people withdraw new members is because if I was to set all of these to 1, or even one of these to 1, and let them take one item out, which would be great, I'd love to be able to do that, they can G-quit and they can rejoin and they can take that one item out again. So that daily withdrawal resets every time they join the guild. So it does not store like it should, and the server remembers, okay, they were already in this guild and they already took their one item out for the day. No, Blizzard just fail coding. They can just totally rape your bank and rob it. Just rob it blind. You get 2 or 3 people doing that when everybody's offline, your guild bank will be empty when you wake up. It only takes like 20-30 minutes to empty it out. So no withdrawals. No withdrawals. No deposit either. A thing to go along with the deposit is if they can withdraw and deposit, and you have stacks of stuff rationed out to, distribute items evenly, to where it's not like you just have a stack of 20 that's worth 100 gold and you have it in stacks of 3 because it's, valuable, and you don't want people pulling shit out and just throwing it on the auction house like douchebags. So if they can deposit and withdraw, they can turn all these stacks into a stack of 20, then withdraw it, and then G-quit, then rejoin, then do it again. So they can empty out your bank that much quicker if they can deposit. So you need to set up a deposit tab to where basically, like you see here, it's just a tab that just turns into a mess and you have to like constantly tend to it. But it's whatever, that's how it has to be done because Blizzard are lazy and they don't care about it. I've talked to them about it, they don't care. So then your members, you want your members, people that have proven themselves, like, oh, I'm not, here to like rape your bank and I've been here a while and stuff. For me, that's like the 1 month mark for the most part, with a few exceptions. I'll get to that here shortly, but the member rank, they can withdraw stuff for the most part out of all the tabs. That way, if a member quits and rejoins, he'll rejoin as like the noob rank, so he can't withdraw stuff until he's manually promoted by me or my officer. So there is the, robbing the guild bank factor out of the picture. Um, Another thing that you might need to do is create some ranks that make it so people that are abusing the guild bank, they're abusing the guild bank, they're abusing guild repairs, they're not doing shit for the guild, they have zero guild activity for total, they've been in there for a month, all they do is just repair off the bank, they're not social, they don't do anything with fellow guild members, they don't help anybody, they don't even talk in guild chat, probably gold farmers. So those kind of people, when you notice them, you need a rank for them to where it removes their privilege to repair off the guild. It removes their privilege to basically about do anything except talk in guild chat. And then for my specific guild, since I basically allow anything to be said in guild chat, I do not restrict guild chat the least bit for the most part. I have a rank that when stuff gets too far out of hand and it's actually creating arguments between, you know, fellow members, I will move them to a rank to where they can't talk in guild chat. Period. That's it. And I'll just leave them there for a couple days. If they leave, whatever, who cares? If they don't leave, I'll check it in a couple days. I'll go through and sort it by ranks and see who's in that rank, and I'll shift them out of it. So, and then you need, like a veteran rank for people that have been there for a long time. You know, not necessarily a long time, but they're your good friends. They seem to be in it for the long haul, and you want to give them more. You want to give them more than just the average member. So you give them more guild repairs. You let them, I let them talk in officer chat. Um, Obviously, nobody. You'll notice like nobody except me can remove people. I'll get to that in a second too. So then your officer, you want to recruit an officer, and you want to make sure your officer shares similar interest that you have for your guild. So, if you're trying to do a social guild and all you want out of it's just to be social, social guild, like you just want a shitload of people on and you want them having a good time and you want them trolling up guild chat and just, having a good time and creating laughs, you need to make sure your officer's down with that. You need to make sure he's not going to be like, oh, well, I'm, Catholic, so no religious jokes or, shit like that. And, well, I want to raid, so I'm going to, turn this into a raid guild. Like, conflicting interests are going to cause problems down the road. Get somebody who's on the same page as you. Know what you want out of your guild so you can tell the guy, people that are potential officers and tell them, this is what I want out of the guild. So, can you fulfill, this position or not? And then, a GM alt rank, you need to, have alts in your own guild. That doesn't hurt unless you're just that active on the server that you can't have your own alts in your own guild. But, as my officer, he can't remove members either. The reason behind that is, I don't know who's going to piss him off. I don't want him booting random people that are helping the guild level. Doesn't matter if him and the other guy don't get along. I don't care. The point is, people are there. They're contributing to the guild by leveling, getting the guild experience, looting stuff. The guild bank's getting money from it. They could possibly be donating stuff. So, I mean, words are just words. You don't like it, don't read guild chats, the way I look at it. So, he's not allowed to remove people. No one's allowed to remove people but myself. Another reason is, what if somebody gets hacked? I don't know how people get hacked. They're just idiots. But if somebody gets hacked and they have the power to remove, like the Chinese gold hacker, the dude could just rip your whole guild apart. You got 1,000 members in your guild, boom, it's gone. It's just like 3 of you when you get on. It's you and your 2 alts. So that's a huge headache as well. Don't let that happen. Another thing is this recruitment tab, listing your guild. For the most part, worthless. Nobody uses this. I get like 1 a week. Still do it though. It's a form of advertisement. Let's get over here to the recruiting part of it. So to recruit, I use this add-on. I don't know if this is like TOS Blizzard approved or not. Honestly, don't really care. It's called Super Guild Invite, and it uses the /who feature to search for guildless people. So it basically types /who, and it will type like /who, like Death Knight or Druid or something, and then it will sort it by guild. So you can see here, like this guy's guildless, that guy's guildless, so it'll put them in a queue list. Alright, and then this thing has a couple other features. Send whisper before inviting. You don't want to do that. The reason why is Blizzard's definition of spam is sending the exact same message to the same chat channel 2 times within 28 seconds. So unless you break out your stopwatch and throttle your invites, you could possibly get like a 3-hour ban for sending a whisper with a guild invite if you're doing it fast. So save yourself the trouble, just disable it, send ninja invites. You're going to get the people that are just mad. They're just furious because you sent them a guild invite, trying to give them perks and trying to give them free guild repairs and trying to give them like people to socialize with. They're just mad about it because you didn't advertise your guild first. But fuck them, it doesn't matter. Another feature here is auto blacklist. When somebody declines a guild invite 3 times, it puts them on the blacklist. They never get invited again. They never go to the queue list again. The lockout time is how long before the add-on will put somebody back in the queue. So like if I invite somebody and then they decline, it won't put them back in the queue list for a full day. And the reason behind that's another thing with TOS. If you repeatedly invite somebody to a guild over and over, it can be considered harassment. It's retarded, I know, but that's how it works. So throttle that as well. That works off server time, midnight server time, that resets. You can set your level limit. If you're a twink guild, search for 70s, search for 60s, search for 80s, whatever. You got a more thorough search here. That searches like every zone, every dungeon, every single thing in the game. It searches for it. I found it not to be as efficient as just doing the regular scan that takes like 3 minutes, because the regular scan is searching like the major cities more so than like the empty zones. So depending on how overpopulated or underpopulated your server is, I'd say don't worry about more thorough search unless you have like you and your officer doing it, and one of you do this thorough search and one of you do the regular search or something like that, to where you get like everybody. But if you're just doing it by yourself, don't do the more thorough search, just leave it. And the way this works is you just hit scan, it runs, it pops up a couple buttons here, invite, choose invites. So you can see here, this is the list of people, I can't even get to the bottom of it, that it's found. So you can just go through here and like you can left click it to invite someone manually. Some of these people, they're not found. Some of them, like if it doesn't say a message, I have my error messages turned off because I hate them 3 red lines of like error shit, the spell's not ready. But it'll say like starter account can't do that or something, and that's people that are on like trial accounts or something. So you just go through here and just invite everybody on this list, and it starts filling up. And then the way I do this is I set their officer note to a date that they join, and that way I can keep an eye on how long they've been in the guild, and I can reference that to how much guild activity they've actually got. So whenever they're due for a promotion, I do promotions around like 1 month or so, 1 month, 3 months, 6 month, 1 year. I can kind of get an idea of how long they've been in the guild and how much stuff they've actually been doing with the guild. Because if you're running like dungeons with guildies and stuff, you'll get quite a bit guild activity. So I mean, I factor that in, and I base my promotions off of how long they've been in the guild versus what they've done for the guild, and kind of do it like that. It's worked out pretty good so far. Another thing is advertising. I do a weekly contest. So I'd like to keep my advertising simple. I don't like just a ridiculous amount of like max characters advertising to where like whenever you do it, it fills up somebody's chat box. It's just retarded. I think it's too much. I like to keep it just simple. And I offer a weekly contest giveaway. And the way I do that is like I'll pull an item or gold out of my own pocket to award the person that has the most weekly activity. So this is a new week this week, but this guy's in the lead. This guy was actually in the lead last week. He won the thing last week, and I haven't got with him yet. So I'll give this guy, like, I'll armory this guy, and I'll see what he needs, and like I'll kind of, do a little armory audit of him and kind of get an idea of what he needs. Do you need Valorist or Valor Feet more? Do you already have those? Do you already have the PvP gear? Do you need gems? Do you need enchants? Like, I'll figure out what he needs. If he doesn't need anything, I'll see what his alts need, and I'll just get him some stuff that's worth like 1,000 gold. Like, whether it's, gems, enchanting. Like, I try to do stuff that really doesn't cost me gold. Like enchanting mats, I run across lots of green, so like, that's all free for me. And then like have lots of alts. In fact, I have like ridiculous amount of valor, so like I could just buy valor gear and send it to them. So I try to do stuff that doesn't cost me anything instead of it just like putting me in a hole trying to run the guild. But there's been a couple times where the people have been like, "Oh, I have everything, and like, so I did have to go out and buy like, some gems or like buy something, but it's whatever, it keeps people motivated. It's great motivation, people being competitive, and their competitiveness will level your guild if you're trying to level it. So, and it's all about, keeping the guild rolling, keeping players interested, keeping players active. So, um, that's that's probably going to conclude our session here. I hope you guys learned something, and you can apply it to your own guilds in the future if you're ever going to attempt to run a guild. It can be a lot of fun. It can be a lot of headache. Hopefully, I've saved you some of the headache that I've went through getting to this point and figuring all this stuff out. So, um, give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Put some comments in the bottom. See you next time.